So with most 2022 Sharp LED LCD TVs, these settings that I'm about to show you should be the same on those TVs, because all we're going to do is pick the best out of the box picture settings. We're not calibrating the TV to the industry standards, but I have measured this particular TV, the FN2, and it gets very, very close to the industry standards out of the box. So you can watch content as it was mastered and intended to be seen. And what you need to do is you need to go into the picture mode, which is movie, and then we're just going to use the default settings under movie for our movie viewing, because we don't need to do anything else really in here. Other than gamma, we're going to change from dark to middle if you are in a brighter room or a slightly dim room. If you're in a very bright room, we want to go in and change that to bright, just so it raises the blacks a little bit so you're not getting any black crush in a bright room. Color temperature, we don't need to touch that. It is correct out of the box. In terms of display mode, we want to go unscaled. We don't want any scaling applied to the image. We want to see it pixel perfect. Advanced video, going through here, we just want to make sure that anything that's going to scrub detail for like dynamic noise reduction and so on is switched off. Then we don't need to change anything else in here. And I know it's a settings video and you were expecting me to show you settings. Well, the best setting that you can apply to this TV is movie mode, because out of the box in the default settings it gets very close to the industry standard in terms of how to watch content as it was intended to be seen and how that content was mastered. So we're going to move now to HDR. Now, to set the picture settings for HDR, you need to feed the TV an HDR signal. So if you go into the menus and you're watching normal standard dynamic range TV, you won't get this menu. You need to feed the TV an HDR signal. So you can either do that from a Blu-ray, which is what I'm doing right now with the Spears and Munsell disc, or you can go into a streaming service and pick something that is in HDR10 and play that, and then go into the menu system. And if you're playing something that is in HDR10, then the menu should look the same as it is on the screen now that I have in front of me. Now again, what we're not going to do here is go into the advanced settings and use software and meters and all the rest of it to calibrate the TV. We're just getting the best out of the box settings that I have measured, and I can tell you that they are as close as you're possibly going to get to the industry standards, and to watch the content as it was mastered and intended to be seen without calibration. So on this Sharp TV, with this menu system here, the best picture preset is Movie HDR. And then very quickly, you just want to go down and check that all of the settings are correct. So unscaled in terms of display mode. In advanced, we're not going to do anything other than just check that the picture processing in terms of things that are going to scrub detail like noise reduction and MPEG noise reduction and so on are switched off, which they are. And that's about it. We don't need to go into color tuner or the white balance correction, because we're using out of the box settings, and that's how to set up for HDR10 in the best mode to see movies and general TV as it was mastered and intended to be seen. So we're now going to look very briefly at the options in the picture mode for Dolby Vision. To get Dolby Vision, you need to feed the TV something that is in Dolby Vision. So if you go to Netflix, find a TV series that is in Dolby Vision, start playing that on your Sharp TV, and then you can pause the content or just let the content play. And when you bring up the menu system, you should see the menu that I have up in front of me now that says Dolby Vision. And in picture mode, you have three choices. You have Dolby Vision Bright, Dolby Vision Dark, and Dolby Vision Vivid. So for the best picture quality towards the industry standards, and to see content as it was mastered and intended to be seen, we're going to use Dolby Vision Dark. And then quickly, we're just going to go down and just check that everything is set correctly. I'm not going to change anything in here unless it needs to be changed. And by just quickly going through the menus, we can see that none of these need to be changed. Out of the box default is correct if you choose Dolby Vision Dark. Now, what we're not going to do is go in and set white balance and all the rest of it. That's not necessary. This TV manages to get fairly accurate in these modes, so we're just going to stick to these modes. So that's Dolby Vision Dark. That's the picture mode that you want if you want to get close to the industry standards and see the content as it was supposed to be seen.